No water for the U.S. This time, the northern superpower didn't find submission or hesitation. It ran into a wall of dignity. President Claudia Sheinbaum was crystal clear. The water from El Cuchillo Dam is not up for negotiation. No matter how loudly Washington raises its voice. No matter how many treaties it slams on the table. Not this time. Because this time, Mexico stood its ground. The United States tried to impose its will. It demanded that Mexico release water from the El Cuchillo Dam, located in the state of Nuevo Leon. It invoked the 1944 Water Treaty like it was a deed of ownership. But it met a leader who doesn't bend. Sheinbaum didn't just say no, she explained why. And she made it clear this wasn't a whim or a one-sided defiance. It was a sovereign decision. In her morning press conference, Sheinbaum was precise. We calculated how much water is in the dams, how much must be delivered without putting our own country at risk, she stated. She emphasized that El Cuchillo is not one of the international reservoirs included in the treaty. The conclusion was clear. That water belongs to Mexico, and it's staying in Mexico. But Washington responded in its usual tone. Donald Trump threatened sanctions and tariffs, accused Mexico of breaking the treaty, and claimed a supposed debt of over 1.6 billion cubic meters owed to Texas. The truth, however, tells a different story. The treaty requires Mexico to deliver 2.16 billion cubic meters every 5 years, while the U.S. delivers over 9.25 billion. Even with delays, the balance overwhelmingly favors Washington. But imperial logic doesn't care for nuance. It demands. It imposes. And this time, it was met with an unshakable refusal. Yes, the dam has begun to release water. But not due to U.S. pressure. Neither the National Water Commission nor the government of Nuevo Leon has linked this move to Trump's demands. In a country where 67% of the territory suffers some level of drought, giving in to foreign pressure would be a historic act of recklessness. Nuevo Leon Governor Samuel Garcia stood by the president. In his words, El Cuchillo is a national dam. Its water is for Nuevo Leon, and it stays in Mexico. But the line was drawn by the head of state, and that line will not be crossed. So far, Mexico has delivered just 29% of the agreed volume this term. Not out of negligence, but necessity. Because climate conditions have changed. Because the population has grown. Because today, more than ever, water means survival. What Trump calls a debt, Mexico understands as a matter of life. This is not about breaking agreements. It's not about defiance for defiance's sake. It's about mutual respect. About updating old pacts to match today's reality. About recognizing that the world has changed, and resources are no longer limitless. Claudia Sheinbaum has set a precedent. She said no, calmly, but firmly. And she reminded the United States that Mexico is not its backyard. If they want dialogue, they must come with respect. Because here, dignity is not up for negotiation. Behind every dam, there are families, farmland, entire communities depending on each drop. And respect isn't requested, it's demanded through facts, arguments, and resolve. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more stories like this. See you next time.